Hello fellow traders, this is another tutorial episode on support and resistance, bread and butter in trading, and undeniably the most important part of technical analysis. As we have mentioned many times, we are trading our real account for the past years for the purposes of this series. All profits go to my sub, so stay tuned, subscribe, like, leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. I think you know what to do. Today we will analyze in depth one of the most important aspects of technical analysis. You will also find very useful links on my description. As I said, bread and butter in trading. For this video and for most of our videos, we will open live markets. I think, in my opinion, this is the best way to show you some market prices, let's say, and you will be able to get the idea and the concept. Remember what we've said, that the market repeats herself. I'm using a female because in my opinion market is a female. So remember that the market repeats herself, but not always with the same way. So this is what we are trying to understand and apply in our trading method. I've got very similar question for this topic, but please keep in mind that this is a new channel, so you need to be patient. For people who anticipate the ultimate secret in trading, I'm afraid there is no such a thing. There is no holy grail in trading. If you're expecting something like that, change direction, do something else, there is no such a thing. Support and resistances are the same thing. There are some important areas that buyers and sellers are becoming into an agreement, let's say in a balance. At this point, the market doesn't go higher or lower. Let's say that the market consolidates at these areas. The market starts to build momentum, and remember, you need to think smart. And what we've already said about the indicators and the relevant indicators, but don't worry, everything is in the description, either for people that are new in this channel or new in trading. Eventually the prices will go into one direction or into another. Previous resistances become future supports, and this makes sense. That's why I'm saying that it's exactly the same thing. Imagine that you are in a room. Your ceiling is your resistance. When you break it and you climb at this level, now you are at the first floor. The same floor that before was your ceiling, it was your resistance. Now it's your support. You can stand on it. You look further and your next target. So now you're looking to climb into the second floor. What you need to do, again, you need to break that ceiling and go above. And now you are in the second floor. The same ceiling now, it was a resistance before, but now it acts as a support because you can stand on it. What is the idea? If you fell down, eventually you will land on the previous floor. If the prices goes down, they will stay at the previous level. Imagine that you are buying at a level, at the consolidation level, okay, at the level that no one knows what the prices will do. So at this level, buyers believe that the prices will go higher, so they are buying, and indeed the prices goes higher. At some point the prices stop going higher. Remember that the prices acts as psychological levels, and that's why also we can see them optically when we are opening our charts. And remember what we've said about technical analysis, or how technical analysts believed that this is the holy grail. I mean, everything is depicted inside the charts. We have analyzed that. This is not the part of this topic that we will analyze today. So at this level, the buyers are losing faith to their position, and the sellers come inside again. So what will happen? The prices will retrace, will go back to the previous level again. Remember that this is the theory. It doesn't matter that what you believe or not. We act like that psychologically. Of course, there are not so tight rules. I mean, you won't be able to identify them easy, And this is one of the tricky part. Also, it doesn't mean that the prices will respect the previous low or the previous highs. And this is the tricky part of trading. I mean, if it was so simple, imagine that everyone would make profit in the market. Unfortunately, it's exactly the opposite. There are 95% of people out there that they cannot beat the market, and most of them are quitting because they don't have the patience and they have in mind some wrong mind setup that won't help them in trading. So remember what we've said about support and resistances. Think it psychologically also how you will act when you want to buy something or when you want to sell something. Imagine that you are a buyer and you are holding a position, and imagine that you are a seller and you are holding a position. When your level, your price level comes at the same point, and if you are a buyer, you don't want to come in negative, so probably you will break even, you will close your position, or you will get rid of the assets. Well, I don't know, it depends on what you are trading. And now the sellers that took over from this point, they will stop there because they will see that psychologically, again, I'm repeating this word because there is no such a word or overbought or oversold. I mean, these are just constructions. These are just constructs that we are making to help us in trading. There is no an indicator that will indicate the oversold or the overbought. Remember that these are just based on a period, a range. We might call it a true range, an average true range, an indicator, and so on. Try to go away from these ideas from the moment. They are not useless. We are going to use them, but this is the way that we need to think when we are trading, and we want to keep our trades to be profitable in our trades, that we have making all this kind of analysis in all of our series and in all of our videos. The hard part is how to identify these levels, because even though if the market repeats herself, it doesn't mean that it will do it with the same way. And here it comes the problem, the hindsight. If you fell off the 5th, 6th floor, it doesn't necessarily mean you will land in the previous one. You might fall dramatically, so you might land in the 3rd floor or in the 2nd floor. This is how it works. That's why trading is so hard. Remember that technical analysis is only one part of the analysis that we are using. Now let's see some support and resistances. Let's say that I have a spot in some diagrams. We will using the cable, the GBP USD and the Euro USD, and see some examples. Let's say, as we see here on the GBP USD, what did how the prices behaved. Let's say it went at this level, at this area, and now the prices break below. So let's say that the prices break the floor. Now see how the market respect the previous area of consolidation. Remember, it's very easy to make this analysis in the prices and market that have already done. And you might see many people and gurus out there which I totally and strong disagree, because none of them has zero, not even close. They don't have any proven trading history, and they are presenting things so easily. So the average person, let's say, that will try to enter the market and will try to trade, will eventually realize that nothing is work, even though most of the times they are working. He will get frustrated and eventually will quit. And this is the reason that he will quit, because initially they taught him to believe that it's so easy to beat the market, either by changing a value or with something that has already happened. And what I'm doing now, I'm showing you something, just an example, of course, for people to understand what are support and resistances and why they are so important. But it's something that has already happened. I mean, I found the best example, let's say, to show it to you. The market went move that all the times, and this is the hard part, that it will become choppy. Ragging, indicators won't work. This is the market. This is the game that you need to get used to it. Now the prices drop below. Remember what we've said. Now the buyers took over. At this point, the prices retraces to this level, and now the same level here that it was a support will act as a resistance, and the prices will shoot up and will break to the next floor, let's say. The pattern repeats itself again and again, and now the same happened here. The prices shoots up until the previous level of prices, and the downtrend is established and continue and continue. And also here it's the same pattern again and again. Remember that I found some very known and familiar pattern in the market. That's why, I mean, when you are applying this technique, it's not, you cannot use only that. And see what happened here. It won't last forever, of course. Now the prices shoots up. The downtrend has stopped. Now, what we've said, very important. I'm on the 4-hour chart. I will change to 1 hour, and this is how you need to combine information and what we have said so far. You will all recognize this candle. We are in the daily, and we were in the 4 hours. You need to be authentic when you're trading, and you need to be smart. You need to combine all the information. If you check our video on candlestick, I know it's horrible. It's like 50 minutes and it's very boring. But if you check that video, what we've said, of course, we couldn't took a short position because this is, we have a candle there. Of course not. But you need to take in consideration many and multiple factors when you are trading. And at this part, at the technical analysis part, of course, it is just one of the many tools that you need to combine and use. Eventually, everything will start to make sense. I mean, your technique will start to emerge from these patterns and from this way. Let's switch on the Euro USD. Now, what we have here, a very classic example, that the prices broke the previous resistances becomes previous support, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the prices will retrace at the same level. And combine that with Elliott theory, combine that with some Fibo retracements, some indicators. This is the game. I mean, this is what you need to build your own recipe, your own strategy when you are trading. Everything will start to make sense when you are trading. And now the market took the opposite direction. Again, we have a significant candle at this point. The market took the opposite direction. It respected exactly the previous support and resistances, the previous levels. They are not the same. They didn't did with the same way, with the same formation. Of course, if it was so easy, then trading will be very easy. It's not. It's horrible and it's very risky. And then the prices, of course, are losing grip. We cannot stay at this forever. Now, what is the negative aspect? In many people that are trading some lines and so on, eventually your graph, your diagram will start to have infinity lines that make no sense. Let's say that okay, you can spot in some bigger time frames, which is good, and then going into some lower time frames, and you're gonna have another lines there and some another lines there, and this all will create indecision. You won't be able to execute any trade. That's why we have said many times, you need to keep it simple. Unfortunately, there is no easy way. I cannot show it to you. Of course, I do that. I show my trading. Everything is there. We are trading a real account for the purposes just to show that it can be done. You can be profitable. Of course, it's not easy. If it was such an easy task or an easy thing, probably everyone would do it. And now, combine more information. Do we have any pattern here, any head and shoulder? Try to think smart every time that you are trading, and keep in consideration every single part that we have said. When you start to combine all this information, eventually you will have a strategy, you will have a technique. I can promise that for 100%, 200%, you will have a strategy. I cannot say when. Unfortunately, I'm not a wizard. I cannot say to you how long it will take. If it will take a week, if it take a month, if it take a year, or if it take more than 5 years, or never. You need to see trading as a hobby. I've said that many times in all of my series. Do not expect to beat the market so easily. I mean, there are some really smart people out there that can combine a lot of information and have some very profitable accounts. They are not so many. And you have to keep an open mind when you are making a strategy or when you are creating a technique. I hope you like the video. I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you very much for watching.